Hey, it's Joe, and this is my next project.
Hey, there's a lot of details on this car when we made the cut. I know you've seen the other video, and we shot a lot of videos when we were cutting and measuring, and I couldn't get them all in the last video, but I didn't want to just throw them out. I want to make sure that anything we shot you'd be able to see. So there's a lot of detail in this video, and here it is. I think that's it. Come on, let's take a look around. Yeah, look at this. I think all the cutting's done, just about, for this first stage. Let me get my little blade here, and even flashlight in case we need that. Look in this corner. We cut this all the way into the corner to this little hole, and then out here. This part is 2 layers. You see those 2 layers here? Outer, inner, and we've got a little slit going through there, and it V's out. Let's be clear. When we weld this thing together, we want this floorboard, this edge, to sit on the outer edge, not underneath it, not the other way around. So we're going to lift this up, and this is going to go over. This side is going to swing in. Same way with this other side. Got it sitting on some wood. Hopefully we've cut everything. These things are keep you from poking your eyes out. I think we've sliced everything. Let me show you something else here. I know we've talked about it, and we'll show you on this side because the light's better. We're looking for the hidden hinge. This hinge is a piece of metal we're going to bend, and it is. Starts right here and runs really close to this. Right down here. And picks up again right here. And then into that corner. We had to relieve this. Everything pivots around that hole. And you see that hole, this hinge, cut, piece of metal. This is cut right through here. When we pull this door in, this thing's going to move out. So it has to be cut in a way, has to be cut on a bevel, kind of like that. If it's up the other way, it's going to hit. We've done both sides. I've checked this several times, but I've never bent this in. And we're gonna we don't need that on there. All right. Because when this lips over this, I don't want the tape in between it. Let's look on the outside here. We've cut this right through here. So I can take this blade, and it really is cut, trust me. All the way down to that pivot point. The way down here on the outside, there's a little piece right there that's cut. Let me get my little flashlight out here and I'll show you. I should have had better lighting, but this is a budget operation. You see this thing? Right there. I can't talk if I hold it in my mouth. This is the hinge. That's the plate that holds the hinge, and the bend is going to happen right about here. So this has to be relieved. It is. It's cut right down this door on both sides. This is a mount for the fender. That's a mount for the fender. That's not going to move. The back stays stationary. Everything in front of this cut moves a little bit. Now this hinge, the hinge is going to move with the door. It's going to bend. This, I think, is going to come out just a little. Where is that? Cut it straight down here. And this is just a fender mount. This stays with the back. I don't care if it moves, I can bend it back in. That hinge that I'm talking about, the hidden hinge, the bend point, is this flat piece of metal inside here. It will bend on this plane. And I'm telling you that like I know what's going on, and I don't, because I haven't been one yet. But then I find out. It's just sitting on 2x6s in a tire, because I had it sitting on these stands, but you know how cars are. I may have to wrestle it. Or is it wrestle it? Anyway, I may have to jerk it around a little bit. This one is cut all the way to here. Eventually we're going to get rid of this hinge. I am. Some cars may be able to save that hinge, but on this initial build, I'm getting rid of it. And just like the other side, there's a little slot in there you have to make right there. And I think there's one down there a little bit lower. It's going to bend right along that plane right there. So you have to make sure everything is cut that sticks out, that won't bend. That's why they do these multi-layer bodies. It's where it's crush resistant, or maybe it just crushes in the correct fashion. But anyway, you have to cut all that stuff out or it's not going to bend right. And that's the lower fender mount where the flashlight is. I really didn't have to cut that all the way out, but I wanted to see what was in there. This door hinge, that door hinge mount up there, once we get the sides bent in, we will re-weld that and make it strong again. I like this little hacksaw blade. You can reach in there and see if everything's cut, but it was really hard to see in there. I had to drill some holes occasionally to look in there and see and get the little flashlight. It's kind of tough. We should, if everything goes as planned, be able to bend this thing in pretty easy. We'll find out pretty quick. Get the tape out of the way because the inside ledge will sit on the outside ledge, and you don't want that tape in between there. Yeah, both of these pieces sit on top of the ledge, and you may have to get a screwdriver in there to kind of pry it up to make it go in the correct on the correct level. And this car is going to be bent. See that little hole back there in the back? It's going to bend around that hole and around. You can see where we've already cut it from the small hole to that larger hole. There's a larger hole there. Trust me. There it is. We made a slot right there. I think one layer is going to go up in between there. Both sides about the same way. I don't know what else to do. It's about time to bend. If all goes as planned, should be able to stick this jack under the center and give it a few bumps. And look at this left-hand side there. Push the jack under there a little bit further. There you go. Now watch this. Watch the left side when you jack it up a little bit. It just wants to come in. Perfect. Pull in the right. Little clamp. Pull in the left. Cool. Well, it didn't take too much work to get it to this stage. Now it's a wide car in the back, what was the front, and it's a narrow car in the front, what was the back. And if you run a string down the side of the car, at least I did, I run it to a jack stand where they all point in the middle. Thanks for tuning in.
I hope you enjoyed watching as much as we enjoyed making it. If you did, tell your friends and subscribe. It's important.